Whatever. And welcome to another episode of the DynastyTradesHQ podcast, brought to you by the Dynasty Football Network and DynastyFootballFactory.com. My name is Michael Cipes. You can find me on Twitter at FFBlitz, and I'm here with my partners, Jeremy Browand.
I'm his partner, Jeremy Browand, at DFF_Madman on the Twitter box.
And Shane Manila.
Hello, lover.
Oh.
I'm his partner,
Friends, we're old. I mean, everybody knows that Friends episode, right?
Uh-huh. And now, when you speak about old, didn't you get something new today with your eyes?
Yeah. So I'm wearing what are called progressive frames.
Progressives.
Progressives. And it was either this or bifocals. Those were my only options. And yeah, I was telling you guys before we jumped on, I put them on for the first 20 minutes of wearing them. It felt like I was going to vomit and fall down in that vomit. And I'm trying to get used to them, and I feel incredibly old, and they look nice. I just, it's getting old sucks.
It's funny that you say you feel incredibly old, but I've had these for probably 5 or 6 years.
I just got mine, a month ago, and it only took me a day or two. I don't remember. It was quick. I got used to them fast.
Oh my God! All right, so then I'm really old, like we always say. So before we get to the news, brought to you by Rotoshirts.com, go to the website and put in DynastyTradesHQ all in caps and get 20% off your player insurance. We're recording late in the week this week, so
we are really late. And I apologize on behalf of Michael.
No, not me.
Not having internet, and Jeremy just flat out being lazy earlier.
Yeah, that is true.
I was ready to go every night. I was actually in the headquarters.
What?
And
it's true. You were ready every night, and I was ready none of the nights.
And
last night I was actually sitting here ready to go, and you guys were on the phones. I had my phone silenced to get ready for the podcast, and apparently Mike calls me. He's like, "Hey man, didn't you see the messages?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Because we're not recording because of my cable's out. And I look at my phone, and there's 36 text messages between you guys that I didn't see. I'm sitting here waiting for a phone call like an idiot.
We missed all week, but a lot of stuff happened this week.
That's what I was trying to say. Yes.
Yeah, I got that. I transitioned. Patrick Mahomes.
You transitioned.
They ripped his kneecap out of his kneecap socket.
Oh my God!
Then they had to put it back in the kneecap socket. So.
And then there was all these rumors that he was going to play this week.
Yeah, which was just insane. I mean, come on, Andy Reid, you fat donut eater.
So obviously he's not going to play. They said today he's not playing. But
thank God. I spent way too much money on Matt Moore to not even get one start out of the guy in Fab.
Did you get him? How many leagues did you get him in?
I've got him. I already had him in a couple because I do the Dynasty waiver wire article for DynastyFootballFactory.com every week. And one of the things I keep telling people is I drop a little wisdom every week, little simple things like I let them know, hey, there's this guy, Matt Moore, right? If you play in super flex leagues, you should pick him up because he's on a high-powered offense with really good players. Nobody listened to me.
Nobody will trade for Matt Moore. Nobody, even quarterback desperate teams. Nobody wants him. I've tried to get rid of him, and people just laugh at you. Even the Mahomes owner just sweat it out for 2 weeks with whatever they may or may not have on the roster. Seriously, you can't give Matt Moore away hardly.
Because he's going to get one start and then go back to the bench.
Yeah.
It is funny. This week, both guys that were in the Dolphins quarterback room for the last couple of years are starting for two different teams.
Yeah, you got Matt Moore and Ryan Tannehill starting for new teams.
Yeah, and people seem to really like Tannehill.
Sure, man.
I got to tell you what. So, I loved Marcus Mariota, but not like how I love Corey Davis. It's just different kind of love. And
it sure is.
If Tannehill is going to be, if he's going to make AJ Brown also a love child of mine, and Corey Davis
also a love child of yours,
another love child of mine. If he's going to make those two fantasy relevant, well then you know what, Mariota. That's what he did last week. Both of them. You could have started both of them.
Yeah.
And I did in some leagues because it was heavy bye weeks, and I said, why not?
And you're back to calling him Tannehill again.
I don't know his name. Look, he's not great, but Mariota, it's hard to say, but he was atrocious. So, look, Tannehill looks like he's willing to throw the ball. He'll get it out quicker than Mariota, who likes to hold on to the football and or run into defensive tackles way too often.
Actually traded for Tannehill, which is weird. I mean, we talked about having him in leagues as a backup, and a lot of people had him just because it's Tennessee and it's Mariota, the whole situation. It was kind of a gimme. But I actually traded for him. I didn't actively go after him, but I'm sitting close to the top of a super flex league. It's a deeper league too. And I needed a quarterback because Mahomes went down. And I went ahead and gave a 2021 first. I mean, we're not even talking this next draft for Tannehill and a 2021 second. I was like, you know what? People are giving up picks for him, second rounders straight up. I moved down a round in 2021. I don't care. I got a guy who's maybe going to keep me in the playoff hunt, possibly get me to the championship game while Mahomes is out. So what the hell? I mean, I thought that was a great deal. I instantly pulled the trigger on that one.
Yeah,
I've got them in, just looking through, like 3, 4, apparently just 4 leagues. So
not the worst quarterback to have, man. That offense has some weapons. I think he's going to be pretty decent for fantasy. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I have him in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but we talked about that before.
Oh, wow.
Well, prior to the season, I think it was like week 1 or 2 of the preseason. In one of the episodes, right. Shane was telling everybody, go on, get Tannehill because Mariota's arm is a wet noodle or whatever you called it, and he was available everywhere in my leagues.
Yeah, got to roll the dice on backup quarterbacks in good and bad situations like that with Mariota. And, we've talked about having the backups for the high-powered offenses. You never know when these guys are going to get hurt, so roll the dice on a couple and just stash them on your roster. And then, you get lucky with Moore and Tannehill starting a couple games and Tannehill maybe the rest of the year. I don't see why not. Probably, yeah.
Super flex with quarterbacks, it's almost like the old handcuffing running backs thing.
Yeah.
Like you said, the high-powered offense, or you get your handcuff. Like, I got Carson Wentz in a bunch of leagues, so then I had Nate Sudfeld. Well, when Nate Sudfeld got injured and they signed Josh McCown, I picked him up. But yeah, or if, there's situations where, say, a backfield is unclear, you get both guys just to cover yourself. And yeah, that's what you did there. So it's like super flex leagues have made handcuffing a thing just for quarterbacks.
You're right.
It used to be for running backs.
It also changes the value of players because when I was in, I was out of town. I was in New York, I think it was. And in our 16-team league, listener league, I needed a quarterback. And I traded Shane a second-round pick for Josh Rosen. And that same day, they said, "Oh, he's going to be the starter the rest of the year." And then he played one game, and then they said, "Never mind, Fitzpatrick is the starter." So I gave up a 2020 second to Shane for Rosen.
They never said what type of year. Like that could have been dog years. That could have been in flea years.
Rosen might start. Rosen, I almost said Rosen might start somewhere someday, so it's not all lost at this point. It looks unlikely that he's ever going to be a superstar, but I mean, it may work out still.
Right, but it's
Probably
like you were saying.
It's not looking good.
No, it's not looking good, but it's like you were saying with the Superflex, it changes the value of stuff. Because it was for me, I was like, yeah, okay, let's do it. Here's the second. I need a quarterback this week, But fortunately, I only needed him that 1 week. But the main injury thing that we were going to talk about was Kerryon Johnson again.
So, and what's interesting about this is RotoSurance. In order for you to cash out on your policy, player has to miss 8 games. Guess how many games Kerryon Johnson's going to miss at least?
8.
8, yeah, because he had knee surgery. We don't know what kind of knee surgery, where on his knee, but he had it Tuesday. He's on the IR. 2 years in a row. Last year, he ended up missing the entire, last, 7 games. With an injury. This year he's going to miss at least 8 games with an injury. He had injuries in college, shoulder surgery in college, injured his shoulder in college, missed games for hamstring troubles, ankle troubles way back in high school. He had injuries to both his shoulders.
Jeez.
How are his parents doing, by the way?
Broke his thumb, and
wow.
So yeah, I know, injury prone is a word that people don't like to use. Well, because it's multiple words, but a lot of people claim that there's like to use, there's certain things that they claim aren't true, like injury prone.
Like broken thumb. I mean, anyone can break their thumb or something like that. But yeah, those soft tissue injuries, and he's a running back, and he doesn't seem durable, right?
Not particularly. No.
I don't.
I mean, no, he's no Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb looks like he could run, seriously, literally run through a fucking brick wall.
Oh, or Frank Gore. Frank Gore's been doing it forever.
Every running back needs to be made from Frank Gore.
Stem cells,
genetics. Yeah, stem cells.
Basically, if and when Frank Gore, if I do say if, that's the important part there. If Frank Gore ever dies,
I'm gonna cry. I will literally cry if he retires, and I will cry even more when he dies. I mean, seriously, that guy's been awesome.
They need to take his bone marrow, his stem cells, and study them, and then feed them to running back. You know what I mean? Like you'll duplicate them somehow. Like you'll get the recipe through his bone marrow or something. I don't know. Science knows.
I honestly want him to do that for wide receivers because if you look around the league, the divas, the whiners, the me guys, look at me. Those are all wide receivers. They need some Frank Gore.
Yeah. Did you see AP last night running at 34 years old?
Oh, good God.
He looked pretty good last night.
He still looked like he's in his 20s. I mean, even with his helmet off, the guy just does not age like the rest of humanity. There's something different about that guy.
I think it was it's the year off from beating his kids.
Oh my God.
That gave him a lot, that let his body recover. So maybe if every running back just takes off like their age 27 season.
Oh my God.
Just comes back refreshed, they can play till they're 34 maybe. Except not Kerryon Johnson because by that time he'll be nothing but a scar. That's all.
You keep talking like that, Shane. I'm going to take you to the AP panic room. Adrian Peterson panic room.
You know what other Johnson can't stay healthy either is David. David Johnson's hurt again.
I love that guy's running style. I like to watch him play football. Some guys, are just, I like to watch him play, but yeah, that guy, he can't stay on the field anymore either. Well, I mean, really never could.
Yeah, apparently now it's an ankle injury, right? So the week before, last week obviously was fun times. Everyone got screwed and got upset because he came out, ran one play, and then sat down for the rest of the day. And real quick, I just wanted to call bullshit on Cliff Kingsbury's story that
he
was because he claimed that he claimed that David Johnson was the emergency back. If David Johnson was the emergency back, why was he out there the very first play of the game?
Yeah, it's bullshit.
Yeah, so it's more likely that he got out there, and didn't feel right or whatever. I guess that week it was his back. This week it's his ankle.
I started him, man. Yeah, he's getting beat up. I started him too, and I'm right there with some of the guys like Matthew Berry calling Arizona out on that stuff with the whole Chase you should have started Chase Edmonds. Man, that pissed me off.
I started Chase Edmonds in a couple leagues last week.
Yeah,
because I had to. This
past week, but the week before, they were kidding around about it.
I thought it was awesome, but I never liked David Johnson anyways.
Yeah, where I had him, I did. But on teams with David Johnson, I didn't think he was going to be out necessarily. So
I don't appreciate when NFL teams try to troll fantasy football players. Like, the reason that your sport is the most popular sport in the world, or at least in America, is because of fantasy football players. And it's like Matt said, no one's watching an Arizona Cardinals game except someone that lives in Arizona or someone that's being held hostage in their stadium. Why else would you watch their games? And then that's the same thing on, the NFL. They know that too. Don't act like they don't know that, because look at some of the shit teams they put on Thursdays when they're like, hey guys, you want to see the Bills and the Jets? Like, no, we don't want to watch that, but they know we will because of fantasy football.
Exactly.
They need to make some serious changes, the old NFL.
Yeah, and then for the teams to act like we don't matter, well, go because you know what? The only reason you make money is because of us.
Oh my God. Well, besides the injuries, there was also a few trades that happened this week with a couple players going from teams to team.
Yeah, right before the deadline. Always, man, some cool stuff happening. What do you think about that news, Shane, Master Shane?
I don't care. Whatever. I mean, he's going to go there and he's probably going to do what he's doing at Atlanta, Mohamed Sanu.
Oh, okay. Well, there was Mohamed Sanu. There was Emmanuel Sanders.
Emmanuel Sanders.
Mohamed Sanu's probably going to do less. Emmanuel Sanders, he might keep on keeping on. What do you guys think about that one? I like Emmanuel Sanders a little bit better than Sanu.
I like Emmanuel Sanders way better than Sanu.
Yeah, it's an upgrade for him, going from Joe Flacco to Jimmy G, who I don't think is very good. But I think that Joe Flacco is less gooder He's worse.
Yeah, I mean, that can go either way. Sanders could get a lot of use in Denver, key guy like that. But 49ers need some receiving help. So yeah, I mean, I just think that it's flat or certainly goes up. But Sanu, there's no way Sanu's going to get that same kind of volume going to the Patriots. Nobody gets volume there.
Exactly.
Julian Edelman and the running back that's the flavor of the day catching the ball. I mean, honestly, it's tough to figure. I'm bummed about that because I have Sanu as just that backup wide receiver, flex guy here and there, and so his value. Thank you very much, Patriots. I hope the Browns kick the shit. I hope the Browns defense kicks the shit out of the Patriots offense. Patriots will probably win, no problem. Whatever. But I want the Browns to damage that team a little bit this coming week, and I think they have the guys up front to do it too. Patriots, you're not going to be undefeated this year, you bastards.
So one interesting thing about Mohamed Sanu is that he is signed through next year, and he's also not as old as I thought. For some reason, I had him pegged in like the mid-30s. No, he's 30, but I thought he was like 35. But you know what I think it is? I get him confused with TJ Hushmanzada all the time.
Oh my God!
Just because he was the same career arc, kind of, even though they were both with. So anyway, Edelman is they could cut Edelman next year. Oh, that'd be a lot of dead cap. So if they cut Edelman next year, it's looking like it's $8.33 million. Although, let me see, there's some post June 1st, pre June 1st stuff. Yeah, they could cut Edelman. The long story short of this is they could cut Edelman if they chose to. And then Mohamed Sanu could be the new Julian Edelman there for a season, which would be extremely valuable if Tom Brady doesn't decide to go, if he decides that he's going to keep playing instead of retire and, just go back to whatever.
Sounds like he's going to keep playing because the Patriots, the 4 years, whatever, a year or two back since they got rid of two serious prospect quarterbacks, Brissett and then Garoppolo, so that they could just hang on to him. So yeah, I don't think he's going anywhere anytime soon unless he were to get a serious injury.
Yeah. And I think the day after they signed Sanu, they put Josh Gordon on IR. So everybody's saying he's done over there in New England too.
Oh, for sure.
Well, New England's saying that because it wasn't, maybe it was Ian Rappaport or one of those other guys. I don't know. I don't really pay attention to who it is, except that they have the blue check mark to make sure it's not some fake account.
Right.
But yeah, it came out basically that they put him on the IR and he's like, hey, I can play, guys. And they're like, no, you're good. You're on the IR. So they're going to waive him shortly. And then it's going to be a feeding frenzy to see where he ends up.
You think so?
Yeah, I mean, he's stayed on the straight and narrow for at least 4 weeks now.
Well, as far as we know.
Well, allegedly. So I mean,
he's right.
4 weeks is like the second longest continuous stretch that he hasn't been suspended in about 6 years.
Can that guy go 4 weeks without smoking a bomb?
Well, he has. I don't know when the last time was. Yeah, this is already week 8 of the NFL. He hasn't gotten in trouble.
He didn't get tested. Don't they get mandatory testing in the situation he's in, like often? So
Probably.
So all right, so somebody might grab him. I saw rumors this week that some people are looking at AB. Do you believe any of those rumors?
No, I think
you mean like mental hospitals are looking at it?
No, teams for the push at the end of the season and stuff like that.
I could see that, but dude, don't.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. He's still on my rosters. I mean, I'm not going to cut the guy. So I do want him to get signed somewhere and have one good game so I can just trade him for anything of value.
I know. I still have him. I still have him in the Lister League.
It's awful.
You still have him?
I do. I didn't cut him. All right. But before we get on to the body of the show, why don't we hear about this new promotion that we have with the Dynasty Football Factory and DraftKings?
DynastyFootballFactory.com has it all. Impact articles, a full scope of fantasy football rankings, ADP, and exclusive members-only access to Factory Sports Slack channel, Dynasty, Redraft, IDP, Devi, and even DFS. A Factory Sports membership unlocks it all. And annual memberships are free. That's right, we've partnered with DraftKings to bring you your annual sports membership for free. Just go to DynastyFootballFactory.com/shop and click on the DraftKings membership promo. Sign up for your DraftKings account, deposit just $20, and you'll receive a free $10 bonus and free Factory Sports annual membership. Eligibility and restrictions apply. See website for details. So act now and become a Factory Sports member for free. Visit DynastyFootballFactory.com/shop today.
All right, so go sign up for DraftKings. You can find the link on our website. I think it's also pinned to my profile.
Oh, is it?
It might be. I don't know. That might not be true. It might be true. There's a 50-50 chance. But if not, just go on the website, DynastyFootballFactory.com, and go ahead and hit the link to the DraftKings. And then, look, you get a free year of us, a free year of shit that I write. If I am this great on a microphone, you can't even imagine what it's like when I have time to sit down and write words and actually compose thoughts.
Yeah, but you don't put in your words, though, right?
I don't. Well, is a word, but no, I do not put in my writing. I don't in my writing. There's none of that.
You know what's cool? Did you guys see the commercial that Finaro made for the DraftKings and the website? It's awesome.
Yeah, I did not see the commercial.
Awesome.
Oh, it's really good. You should check it out. Yeah.
He does good work over there. Aardvark TV does.
Yeah. So one of the things we were going to talk about today, Shane, you had a feeling that you're starting to have performance anxiety when it comes to making trades halfway through the season?
So yeah,
I think he's having TD, trade dysfunction.
Oh, instead of ED.
Instead of erectile.
I couldn't finish. I just could not finish. Like it felt like I was getting there, you know what I mean? And then something would just happen, and then I couldn't maintain that trade.
Well, even you and I,
enjoying the process.
It happened to you and I this week too. We did make a trade last week, but this week we kind of went and then we stopped. But that's not the example you were going to use, though.
It wasn't?
No, you have a different example here with you and Ham and Eggers.
Well, so this was completely separate, but when do you do is what I put in there. So what do you do? I'm just curious. Like, what do you do when you feel like you just can't get it up anymore? And by it, I mean trade. By up, I mean trade. Do you just keep trying?
Yeah.
Yeah, man, I'll tell you what, I had the same experience you're talking about, and I know you have examples and you tweeted about this, but in one case, I co-own a team with Dan Cook. I brought him in to help me with the defensive side of things because I've had this really good team. I've told you guys about this before. I had this really good team, but I just couldn't finish. I couldn't get there. I couldn't keep the team up. And
oh my God.
And so now I'm trying to get a wide receiver because our wide receiver core is thin. We've got like 3 bodies, and then we've got Sammy Watkins, and you know Sammy Watkins. We've got Amendola off the waiver wire. I feel like this team could make it to the title game. We're undefeated so far, and it's a copy league. 14 on each side of the thing, and we have a chance to go. We should make the playoffs and compete in this. And I can't get a wide receiver to save my life. I keep trying to make trades. Second-round picks, couple of picks, a player sometimes. Nobody will budge. And I'm talking about trying to get Alshon Jeffrey. I'm not trying to get try to get Tyler Lockett, trying to get, old guys, young guys, middle-of-the-road guys, just to have another guy we could possibly start here and there. And I can't get it done. Just can't do it. Don't know why. Just not happening.
Well, I think one of the things that Shane, Shane actually just got up.
Oh, did he?
He just got up and walked out.
This madman won't shut up. This is my bit.
He just got up and walked away. No, but one thing I will say, we kind of referenced the show sheet without talking about it, but Shane, what was the tweet that you were talking about? Because Jeremy referenced the tweet you were talking about, and we're talking about on this piece of paper. What exactly are you talking about when you say you can't finish, you can't complete?
So I couldn't consummate a trade. I can't think of any other sexual innuendos.
I know. I think we've all used them up.
Yeah, I've used them all up.
I mean, do you feel like maybe you're a little too soft?
Oh my God.
There you go. So apparently my trade offers were too flaccid because no one would let me put them in them. No,
No.
That's literally.
I don't know what you're doing at home, buddy, but
no innuendo there whatsoever.
Okay, so let's go straight
Wednesday,
forward.
I think it was Wednesday or Tuesday. I just tweeted out that like I had it. Oh, it was Wednesday. I hadn't made a trade all week. And what's funny about that is that someone then reminded me
that you did
at night that I actually made a trade on Monday with them.
What kind of trades are you erecting when you're?
Well, he doesn't even remember them.
Well, let's see. On Monday,
I know he doesn't.
he reminded me of this trade. I traded, and this is obviously it was Monday, I guess. It was before any of the Josh Gordon stuff. So I traded Josh Gordon and a 2020 second for Corey Davis.
Oh, well, that's good.
Yeah. And then that, serendipitously. That's not how that works.
No, that's not how it works.
Serendipitously.
There's too many syllables in that word, man. Skip it.
Fortunately for me, I guess it broke that, now he's waived. And so I had thought I hadn't made any trades all week, even though I technically made one.
I'll tell you what, even without Josh Gordon not being on the Patriots, that was a good trade. Yeah. Just because of Josh Gordon's history, Corey Davis' trajectory going up. I mean, I was talking to Scott Connor earlier today on Off the Rails. Finally got another episode of that going on lunch break. But he pointed out that he couldn't. He was getting offers like seeing offers like people were trading Corey Davis away for John Ross there for a while. That is ridiculous.
Yeah,
that's terrible. That's just bad. Because, look, we saw John Ross's young, and it was really good. And then we saw
one awesome game a year, and then he's hurt for 3.
Yeah,
whatever.
And then he's injured again. And we haven't seen him in at least 6 or 7 years now.
It seems that long.
Going back to the point was that you were trying to make a trade. You got to a certain point, but you couldn't complete the deal. You couldn't finish.
Make it happen.
Yeah. It was just frustrating. It's really annoying when you send offers and a couple of the responses were, wow, this is a really good offer, but I'm not going to accept it. It's like, well, you know what? Don't tell me that. That's like when you were single and a girl would be like, wow, and she was, and she's dating someone and she's like, wow, if I didn't have a boyfriend, I would be with you. And you're like, why would you tell me that? How does that help me in any
What your man got to do with me?
Well, that too, because we're old, so we would.
Well, I would say this. One of the things I had thought about when you were talking about this, going back to a serious response, is when you've gone through the process of going back and forth with somebody, and then you thought you were going to complete, and then it doesn't happen, and then for whatever reason it falls apart. I did that last week with a trade that didn't happen, but then I just pivoted to other people in the league and sent that exact offer to other people to try to get something from them. And I actually got a trade done. It wasn't the initial trade that I was doing with somebody else, but I gave away the pieces that I was trying to give away in that trade. So maybe
you didn't keep the dialogue going with that same person.
No, because it just kind of died.
As it moved on.
Yeah, it kind of died, but I was still in the mood and the moment that I wanted to make it that trade, or I was willing to give away those players. So then I just kind of pivoted to somebody else in the league, went back and forth, and then I got the trade done.
I commend you guys for all the effort that you put in, and I know you guys do a lot of this. Occasionally I will when I want to make a move. I want a certain player. I want to improve my team in a certain way, and I'll be more strategic about it like that. But honestly, my trade dialogue consists of reject, and deleting emails. I'm just not, if I don't see something that remotely interests me, I don't even really engage. I just reject the trade, which is a bad habit on my part. I have to stop doing that. I know.
Yeah, I'm like Mike. So I treat it like sex. I come at it from as many different angles as I can possibly think of.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, well, this isn't working. Let me try over here. No, all right, let me try this. No, how about this?
If you had a bigger offer, you wouldn't need to worry about those angles as
much.
My
God. Are we just do it the whole show? Is that what we're going to do?
No,
yeah, basically, this is the innuendo show. So I've been told that it's not the size of the offer.
So we definitely have a title now, right? We have a title for the show at least. So
it's not the size of the offer; it's the quality.
It's the quality of the offer.
So Shane, do you ever do it that way? The way I just. Oh my God!
Well, no. I mean,
See, you can't help.
I can't. No, I'm just saying. Move the offer to the next person in line.
Yeah, I mean, and this goes when we were talking, a couple weeks ago about sending out blind trade offers. And I have hashtag trademarked that phrase, blind offers.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'll do that too a lot of times where if I'm not engaged with just one specific owner, then I'll send the same pieces for a similar type player.
Yeah, if you're not engaged, I mean, you're pretty much not obligated to worry about your other partners, honestly.
Well, I don't think you're obligated to it anyways. If it doesn't happen, you're not obligated.
Look, I've had me and Larry Monkey were going at it for a while. Over
he drops that like everyone in the world knows who Larry Monkey.
No,
Larry
but I was thinking.
Patron.
Yeah, but I heard going at it for hours is what I heard.
So me and Larry Monkey were going at it, man. I mean, just over the span of like a night and a half. And, look, we were hammering it and hammering it and hammering it. And, during that whole time, though, I was also, I was sending out offers to other people because I feel obligated to finish with Larry. I mean, I'll finish with whoever. It doesn't really matter. As long as I get to finish the trade.
Is Larry okay with this?
No, I like how he says, as long as I get to finish.
So then I made a trade. Bring it up later.
Over here.
I brought up, or I finished with Outhouse. Me and Outhouse made a trade.
And that sounds right, that you would finish with Russ.
Yeah, with Outhouse. Yeah, Russ seems like a finisher.
Yeah. So he's trading, and he's very open to many different types of trade. So I finished the trade with him.
I'm sorry, I'm just cracking up by the facial expressions you're making when you're saying stuff
so
like that.
Fun.
I wish we were a video podcast.
Well, we can be someday. We need more patrons for that. So if you're not a patron yet, I'm really going to need you to become a patron first.
I'm going to need you to become one, okay?
So I actually shared 2 free patron episodes today. I actually went back in our archives of patron episodes, of which there are innumerable now.
You're just making up words all over the place tonight.
There's an innumerable amount, at least 50. So I went through the archives, and I tweeted out a couple that I liked. I made them free to give people a taste. So hopefully they like our taste and what we taste like, and they decide that they want to be a patron. And
I hope so, man. I do. Hey, and you know what?
We love our patrons. I would love to love more patrons, though.
Oh my God!
We discussed throwing some more impulsive things out on our Patreon page for the patrons. Some rants, some things here and there. Just when the mood strikes us, and we're not going to announce it in advance, and we'll just drop it on the site.
Yeah,
because we love the patrons.
So yeah, no, I agree with you, Mike. I'm big on especially like I said, the blind offers. I'm looking for usually I'm looking for a player type, not a player.
Right.
Yeah. The name doesn't really matter. If I'm trying to get a RB2, then I'm going to send out multiple offers to people with the RB2 archetype player.
Right.
But yeah, so I ended up not being able to pull off the trade with Larry Monkey. Myself and Outhouse made a trade, and I was happy with it. And we'll get to that trade a little later.
Yeah, I do like one thing that you tried to do this week, and I thought it was pretty interesting. That's why I'm mentioning it for people to listen. You threw it out in the group chat that you were trying to trade Kirk Cousins, and you went back and forth with some people, including me, and you didn't get the deal done. But I like 2 hours before the game last night, you're like, all right, so nobody out here is going to trade for the 42 points that Kirk Cousins is going to get tonight. and so even at the last minute, you were still trying to get something done, which you unfortunately were never able to get done. But
look, if you got to shoot your shots.
Yeah.
I mean, you just got to keep putting it out there, and then eventually someone hopefully will interact. Yeah, or someone will take the bait, And what's funny is I realized something over the last few days, because then yesterday and today I've made I don't even know, something like 6 or 7 trades, 3 in one league.
Wow.
Including one that didn't count because I didn't have the actual one of the players that I thought I did.
So then how did you make? All right, wait.
Hilarious,
Hold on.
man.
Why don't we do this? Why don't we hear from the Scouting Academy, and then we'll go over all the trades that we do have.
Okay.
Scout NFL football like a pro. Invest in yourself and get a degree in player evaluation and assessment from the Scouting Academy. They've educated NFL GMs, personnel directors, and dozens of NFL scouts. Enroll today and you'll watch the same game tape NFL coaches watch. You'll learn to look past the metrics with position-by-position analysis. This is a time-tested curriculum, a chance to learn from the NFL execs and coaches. Sign up today and get a Dynasty Football Factory exclusive discount for limited time only. Save $50 when you sign up at dynastyfootballfactory.com.
So yeah, Scouting Academy. Again, guess what? If you go on our Dynasty Football Factory website, you can get a deal on them too, because we just get you fucking deals with everybody because we are awesome. I mean, I don't like to toot my own horn.
Oh sure, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you can't consummate trades, you essentially are tooting your own horn.
Oh my God.
I'm gonna toot my own horn here. Just make sure you go on the site. You get save yourself $50 on the next semester. Scouting Academy. So that's well worth it.
All right.
So yeah, I made a few trades. I was gonna try to do them in perfect succession.
Yeah.
That's correct. That means in order?
Yeah.
All right, good. Nice. Trade alert.
Oh.
Because I feel like if I don't say that, it doesn't count.
Yeah, exactly.
So the first trade I made is I went ahead and made a little baby trade.
Oh, so cute.
Yeah, and this is I made 3 trades I made 3 trades, only 2 of them counted. Actually, I made 4 trades and 2 of them counted. Nope.
Sounds like a Monty Python skit.
And
It does. Like, what? Just tell us
3
the
of them
trade.
counted. Yeah, 3 of them counted. That's what it was. So myself and Etan Mosia, I traded Tevin Coleman, except that he traded Tevin Coleman. Okay, we'll skip the trade. That trade's inconsequential. So here's a bigger trade I made, and this
Oh my God.
Dynasty Diagnostics. There's another D in there. I don't know what it's for. League is what I'm going to say. It's DDDL. Dynasty Diagnostics something.
Dynasty League.
That makes sense. See, yeah, that's probably what it is. So, well, thank you for clearing that up for me, at least. So these are somewhat similar to Trade Addicts leagues. It's a super flex. It's a 1-point PPR for wide receivers, half-point PPR for running backs, and then a 1.75 PPR for ends. So I gave up Keenan Allen, Josh Oliver, and Greg Olsen, and I got back the tight end one, I believe he is, Austin Hooper, and a 2020 third.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Austin Hooper, man. That guy is amazing.
Yeah.
So I did add the tweet here and to see how it was doing on the vote box here on the Twitters. Would you guys like to venture a guess as to who won, first of all? Who's winning according to Twitter?
I'm taking the Austin Hooper side myself in this, but I wouldn't be surprised if people at large maybe thought Keenan Allen and Greg Olsen side was better.
Yeah, I like the Austin Hooper side too, but I can't imagine that Twitter likes it better.
No, Twitter resoundingly called me stupid.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keenan Allen, Olsen, and Josh Oliver are winning 76 to 24%.
Oh wow. I do like, is this the trade that when you and Russ made it, Russ said something in the group chat like, oh, I guess I should have asked for more because you like accepted it right away? Was this that trade he was talking about?
That was
So
I
he
got
thought he
that
should
this
have asked
past
for
week
even
too, man.
more.
Yeah, well, whatever. Well, apparently not. Apparently I got hosed on that trade.
Exactly.
I
That's why I
would've
mentioned
liked-
it.
I would have liked you to get, maybe a second-round pick or something more than just Hooper, because Keenan Allen, one of my favorite consistent receivers and stuff. But Austin Hooper at a position of need, one of the best tight ends in fantasy points. I think it's fine. I don't think it's as lopsided as Twitter will make something be, and that's the thing. Those Twitter polls are, sometimes they make you feel better about making a trade, but I think they're mostly wrong. I mean, because they're looking at something right now today, a snapshot, of things, and really not going to know who won this today.
I think if people, Twitter especially, is looking at the names, Keenan Allen, because the production wise, I mean, obviously Josh Oliver hasn't even played yet, and Greg Olsen is probably done after, so it's really the Keenan Allen, Austin Hooper. And for now, Austin Hooper scoring way more points than Keenan Allen is scoring. I mean, the last couple of weeks.
You're right about the interpretation.
Yeah,
too. It's the name of it's the household name Keenan Allen, the even greater household name Greg Olsen. It's that. It's not the quality of this trade. It's just like, oh my God, you gave away God for what?
Yeah, but Keenan Allen, even in the last, I don't have it in front of me, but I know the last 2 weeks at least, he hasn't even gotten double digits in his games.
Yeah, what's funny is he started off on absolute fire. I mean, he was on pace for something like 218 targets through the first 3 weeks.
He did start out strong, man. I traded for him in a contracts league, high stakes contracts league, and I really kind of wish that I didn't give up what I did for him. I had such great receivers on this team last year that are doing well this year. I mean, I ended up getting rid of, between last year and this year, Cooper Kupp, Tyler Lockett, Kenny Galladay, and Chris Godwin, all guys that I got in the odd.
You got rid of all those guys?
Now, but I have Michael Thomas, Keenan Allen, and other players that I wanted. I mean, I didn't get nothing in return.
Right.
Baker Mayfield, some other pieces that I wanted, and I drafted well in this draft to come out of it with Terry McLaurin, A.J. Brown, Deontay Johnson, some other pieces I hit, I think, in the draft, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside. So I reloaded, but I'm in competition for the top spot in this league, and thinking about those 4 wide receivers could be helping me more than Keenan Allen and Michael Thomas.
Well, yeah, I just clicked on Keenan Allen. The last 4 weeks in a full PPR, he's got a 9, a 5, a 6, and then he got a 10 this week. So
yeah, and he had 42 targets in the first 3 weeks of the season, and he's had 28 targets in the preceding 4 weeks.
How much of that is Phillip Rivers? How much of that is
Post-seeding?
Post-seeding?
Subsequent.
Oh my
So you
God.
can edit that so I sound smart. So let's try that again.
No, I'm going to use all these words in the title
So
of this episode is what I'm going to do. I'm writing them down.
The gist of it is he had 42 targets in the first 3 weeks. He's had 28 targets in the next 4 games. So his target share is, it's just raw targets. I'm not looking at the target shares, but his raw targets have dropped. And Mike Williams is being getting peppered with targets.
Getting peppered with targets too, right?
Yeah.
But the return of Hunter Henry, that doesn't help him. So this is my thought process anyway. Was Hunter Henry's back? Hunter Henry is severely eating into Keenan Allen's target share. Yeah, Keenan Allen's dealing with a hamstring issue, I think, this week, or ankle. I'm not really sure. It doesn't look like he's going to be a game time decision. I'm in 3rd place in this league. Tight ends get like I said, they get 1.75 per reception. That's a full 0.75 per reception.
That's no joke, man. That's huge.
Yeah, that's a significant amount. With Mohamed Sanu being gone, that even concentrates the target share even further there, where it's only Julio Jones, Austin Hooper, and Calvin Ridley.
Well, then also, listen, with Austin Hooper at a 1.75, like you're saying, I just clicked on Trade Addicts, which is 1.75, and Austin Hooper has, from all 7 games, 23, 10, then 29, 28, 18, 32, and 18. So it's like every single game.
He's at the top of all tight ends right now.
Exactly.
Our points, 20 points practically above Darren Waller, and even more ahead of Travis Kelce. I mean, he's the tight end 1 so far this season. It's big.
So when people are just looking at the names and not looking at the production, that could be why the internet is
especially the 1.75.
Well, in Trade Addicts, which is 1.75, Austin Hooper is the number 1 tight end by 21 points over the next tight end, which is Darren Waller.
He's also, if you want to look at it in PPR points, he's also he's basically the wide receiver 6, which is like 7 points ahead of Keenan Allen, who's still a wide receiver 1 this year. But in PPR points, He's at 121, which is 1 point ahead of DJ Shark and 4 points behind Stephon Diggs. So Shane traded for a wide receiver 1 at the tight end position. Yeah. And that's based on 1 point per reception, not 0.75 on top of it. So it's clearly a win for Shane in fantasy points with just the Keenan Allen for Hooper, in my opinion.
Well, looking at the Trade Addicts thing, it's actually 39 points more. Austin Hooper has 39 points more than Keenan Allen does so far in the year.
Yeah, and and I don't
1.75. That's huge.
And the other thing is he's still only 24 years old. I know he's been in the league. This is his 4th year, and he's actually progressed. So it's not like he's this is a spike over last year, but last year he was very good too. I believe he was the tight end.
He was
6 or 7.
He's actually gotten better every year,
which is what you want to see.
People forget how good he was in college and the high expectations he had coming in, and he didn't start with a lot of noise. He did okay. I mean, he's fine as a rookie. He just doesn't have the name. He's not the sexy name. He's not, Travis Kelce or George Kittle or, Zach Ertz. He's not. He's kind of quietly become one of the best tight ends. It's funny. I mean, and I think that Twitter poll just is emblematic of all of that.
Yeah, and
Allen?
The name recognition is what it really is. Right. And the other thing too is I've always said it, I love when everybody thinks that they like the other side of my trades better than my side of the trade, because it just means they're not thinking the same way. So if you can pull that off here, maybe you can pull it off somewhere else because somebody else will think the same thing. So
proud of you, man.
So you said you did multiple trades in that same league. What was the other one?
Yeah. So this was the this one here was the 3rd trade that I did actually pull off. Like I said, there was an earlier trade, just a small trade. I gave up McCole Hardman and got Tevin Coleman.
Yeah, and that I'm way fine with that.
Yeah, I mean that's not a giant move, so I didn't really bring it up. It was going to be on the show sheet only because I couldn't finish any trades, and then all of a sudden they just spewed out of me. So the next trade, and this is and I should say both these trades talks were going on the entire time that I'm also offering the same players to Larry Monkey. For DeAndre Hopkins, which we weren't able to finish, but we can come back to that later, me and him. So I gave up Nickel Harry. And
Nicole or Nikhil?
Nikhil Harry. And Deontay Johnson. And I got back Hunter Henry.
So this is in the same league for the 1.75 tight ends.
Exactly. Same league, same settings. The wide receivers, it's 1 point PPR, and then it's 1.75 for tight ends.
I like that trade too. I'm fine giving away those 2 guys to get that other tight end.
Clearly, you're trying to make some noise this year, obviously, based on these moves with the points, right? I mean, you wouldn't necessarily have to be, because both Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper have a lot of life ahead of them in the NFL. But I'm just saying, you're giving away youth like N'Keal Harry, Deontay Johnson, Josh Oliver, and 2 of these trades. You're probably looking at making some noise this year.
Yeah. Well, but he's also not getting really old players in these deals.
No, he's not.
And with Hunter Henry,
24.
Yeah, and with Hunter Henry, again, with that 1.75, he's played the last 2 weeks, and he's got a 36 and a 21. So, I mean, he comes back, and he's already, 30s and 20s. So, and he's trading away youth, sure, but the youths are getting him, 2 points, 3 points? Deontay Johnson's not getting him anything. So,
yeah, I mean, N'Keal Harry, he was, he's a guy that I still think is going to be good in this league.
But right now, who cares?
Yeah, and based on my roster construction, look, I have young wide receivers. I was light at tight end. I had Noah Fant, who I really expected to have a year 1 breakout, which has not happened.
That's a lot to expect of a tight end, though, man, especially on that shitty team.
Yeah, but but either way, so I just needed to make some moves, and I wanted to get the tight ends because that's where the value, that's where if you're going to win leagues like this, I'm going to lean into the scoring when it's that substantial, when there's that substantial of a difference. So, what do you think Twitter has to say about?
They're not going to like that one either. The way Twitter is, they're going to see the 2 young names like Jeremy just said, and if you click on average points in that league, you got the number 1 and the number 2 tight ends in average points.
You did.
Henry's only played 3 games, but still, average wise, he's right there underneath Austin Hooper. So you traded away for the top 2 tight ends.
I think it's a sweep. I love both of those receivers. You guys know I'm a big fan of Deontay Johnson. Talked a lot about him, but value is value, and you basically came out ahead on that trade. I mean, it was a sweep on both of these, and it leads me with N'Keal Harry to asking you guys a question about a guy who won't leave me alone about getting N'Keal Harry, who's out of competition this year. I'm kind of in the middle of the pack, and now he wants to send me Corey Davis for N'Keal Harry.
I would do it. I mean, N'Keal Harry hasn't even played a game. He's a rookie. Right. People are all like, "Oh, he's a rookie."
He plays for the Patriots,
and he plays for the Patriots again.
He's freaking worth anything.
So then, what are you thinking about? Do it. I would do it.
And it's it's a league where the money's even. $12 million basically a piece.
So is that in your box?
I think it's more. Yeah, it's more guaranteed for N'Keal Harry, but the contract gets taken over completely by the other team. So he gets my N'Keal Harry and $12 million for 4 years, and then I would get his Corey Davis for. Well, it's just this year. It looks like.
Oh well, then
no. It's also 4. It's also 4 years.
Oh well, if it's 4 years, then I would do it. There's no question I would do it. Yeah, I mean, you say those things about the potential and the prospect, and he's young and blah blah blah, but he's on IR. He hasn't played yet, and he plays for the Patriots. I'll take Corey Davis. Yeah, I would do that trade. You have it in your box to accept right now.
You're in this league that will not be talked about on this
I know,
podcast.
but you have it in the box right now to accept it?
Yeah.
So accept it. I would. And Shane said he would.
I said I would.
And then also Marvin Jones he sent to me for N'Keal Harry as well. Almost like I have my choice.
Yeah, I would take Marvin Jones and Corey Davis, but I would not take Marvin Jones straight up.
Yeah, no. Do the Corey Davis one.
That's what I feel too.
So Jeremy, those were the trades that Shane had on here, but you said you had a few trades that you wanted to talk about that you just automatically declined?
In my defense, I do need to change my behavior and interact more in some of these leagues, not just when I want to trade for someone or I see an offer that I want to accept, get more, but a ton of leagues, excuses aside, here are some reasons why I auto-reject. And one of these, you guys, basically trash dynasty trade offer. Let's just say it. # trash dynasty trade offer. You guys are in this league. We co-own a team together. I'm going to I'm going to change the name to protect the innocent. It's just a team wanted to give us a 2021 first-round pick, a 2021 second-round pick, and a 2020 third-round pick for what I think is probably overall the best wide receiver in the NFL, Michael Thomas. And maybe you guys don't agree on that he's the best, but we could argue that on another show. One of the best, and he's certainly consistent. Wanted to give us, some picks, these 3 picks for Michael Thomas. That's not going to cut it.
No way.
That's just not going to get a player of that caliber for this many, 3 years running for 2021 firsts and seconds and a third. No players, nothing, in the 2020 class that's high. I mean, honestly, I'd be looking for 2 coming up quickly first-round picks just to talk to somebody about moving Michael Thomas. Personally, I'm not going to move a top-shelf wide receiver like that for – anyways, that's just one example of, I'm not even considering it. And then a 2021 first and third for Terry McLaurin. That's less than I paid for him in this draft.
Wait, what was that?
2021 first, and 2021 third for Terry McLaurin. Maybe at some point I'd consider trading him away, but right now he's helping my team. It's a good team. I paid a 2019 second for Terry McLaurin. I wouldn't move a 2019 second for a 2021 first and a 2021 third. I just wouldn't, let alone a player who's established. So that's one that I'm just like, no, thank you.
But that also goes back to one of the things we talked about a few months ago about knowing the person you're dealing with. If they knew you just talk about McLaurin so much on the show and how much you love the guy. So even coming at you, they need to come at you with a stronger offer than that.
Well, and just that's not a strong enough offer for the kind of player you're talking about that you paid a second-round pick in this draft.
Well, sure. Yeah. I'm just saying the extra incentive of it is the fact that you love the guy,
Yes, sir. And how about this? Not just one 2020 round 4 pick, 3 2020 round 4 picks, and 2021 round 1 pick for Le'Veon Bell.
That's fair.
You could look at that and be like, well, that adds up and balances out. I got 3 4th-round picks in 2020.
No, that doesn't.
Big whoop. And a 2021 round 1 pick. No, man, a 2020 first-round pick, Le'Veon Bell, and and some 2020s, maybe a second or a third. I'm saying like maybe you're getting closer, but three fourth-round picks and then first round or 2 years from now for Bell? I don't think so. That's not the kind of move. I'm saying I just auto reject this shit.
So let me give you his side of it, probably, right? So he's got 4 fourth-rounders, right?
And it's me. No, you're not in this league, are you?
4 fourth-rounders, so that equals 16 points.
3 fourth-rounders.
Plus, so that's 12. Then you plus a 1. It's 13 points. Maybe he's using some kind of point scale.
No, you know what's more likely? What I think is that's what he has left. He probably traded away his other picks, because I know I'm in that position in some of my leagues where I've traded away most of my picks. So I've got fourths and fifths lying around. So maybe he just thought, hey, I'll just throw him everything I have. And maybe that's what he has left. Because otherwise you're right. It's definitely not the right value that you should send, but maybe that's what he has left,
I think that's the case. And then the last 2 I have, and these are just ones from this week, guys. This is from just the past couple days. In a Superflex league, I realized Sam Darnold hasn't been faring well, and he came back after the, mono. And, I still have high hopes for him. I'm not unrealistic, but I think in a Superflex league that's really, really tight on quarterbacks, and they're all on rosters, that a first-round pick, which I don't know what it's going to be, but a first-round pick in 2021 is probably not offering enough for a starting quarterback in the league. I mean,
it's a shitty offer. Don't be all polite about it. It's a shitty offer. First of all, it's a super flex. So if you're talking to me about a quarterback that's 22 years old, 23 years old, he was incredibly young when he came into the league last year.
And he had mono, so he looks like he's
it's not even a 2020 first round pick.
Yeah, so no, you can't come at me in a super flex offering me one random first from 2 years from now. That's a shitty offer.
Well,
Whoever sent that's shitty.
How about if I give you Mitchell Trubisky and $10 in blind bidding for Sam Darnold?
Yeah,
it's getting a little closer because it's another quarterback, but still, I mean, that's one that I was like, maybe I could, but I don't want Mitchell Trubisky. I want Sam Darnold. So I'm like, these are the kind of things I'm dealing with. I don't tend to get the home run pitches. The things I just hit out of the park right off the start. I get stuff like this.
I wonder if I would take Trubisky and the $10 over Sam Darnold.
I wouldn't. Trubisky.
I know, but Sam Darnold's awful too. Did you watch?
No,
I mean, yes, he is. Yeah, he
dude,
is.
you are senile.
He's been awful. I get it, and you could make an argument.
He was awful he was awful in one game when he had fucking mono.
No,
and he didn't die.
He didn't have mono this week when he played. He was awful.
You're right. He didn't have mono, but what he had is a head coach that doesn't have enough fucking common sense not to run fucking deep patterns when your quarterback is getting absolutely fucking mauled at the line. And has
I'm a huge fan of Trubisky. I mean, he played not too far from where I grew up in, northeastern Ohio. Followed him in college a little bit. I had him on a lot of Devy teams. I was excited when he was being talked about as this high draft pick. And he went to Chicago and all this stuff. And I'm like, man, this is cool for this kid. This is going to be great. A friend of a friend actually was his junior high, coach. I got some, sort of admiration for this kid, but I fully realize that Sam Darnold's ceiling is quite a bit higher than Mitchell Trubisky.
Yeah,
easily top 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah, they're both. Yeah. Well,
no, they're not even remotely similar.
You're telling me that Sam Darnold is a top 10 quarterback?
I'm telling you, he has top 10 upside quarterback potential. Yes,
I think so. Yeah, not this year. He's super young. He was the youngest kid to come out
in the history of football last.
So he's I think his ceiling is higher than that. We could debate that, but
sure.
Top 10, not anytime soon.
Yeah,
maybe in the next couple of years.
Well,
but
I'm sure. Would take that offer,
no, so. I did not say I would. I said I might, but I will say that I definitely think there's 9 quarterbacks that are better than Sam Darnold, or 10 quarterbacks that are better than Sam Darnold.
This year, yeah.
Oh God, no shit. What did I say? I said upside, Grandpa. Listen, get your hearing aid cleaned.
Yeah, but you're acting like I'm a fucking idiot because I don't want him.
Pop. So real quick, I just wanted to go back to this. So you guys were actually wrong on the Twitter poll. Twitter actually preferred the Hunter Henry side because you know why? You guys forgot about recency bias, and Hunter Henry is the greatest tight end that's ever played football after the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So Twitter gave me the win on that.
Did they?
58%, and they gave 42% to N'Keal Harry and Deontay Johns.
Yeah, I mean, it should definitely be the Hunter side. I don't care about the upside of a kid that's on IR and on the Patriots, so what? So,
Hey, I got something important to talk to you guys about, though.
About your beard?
Yeah.
Are you shaving?
It looks nice, right?
Yeah.
It looks nice.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Okay. Well, let me just tell you, our beards are way too important to put any old product in it the same way you won't just throw any player in your lineup on Sunday, right?
Oh, some people do.
I get it.
Welcome to Fox City. Using all organic oils, we boost the hormones your skin needs to grow a thicker, fuller, and longer beard with the natural shine and amazing scent that will get everyone's attention. I'm stroking my beard right now, and it looks good. I've been using their products for a few days. I'm not gonna lie to you. Give Fox City a try by visiting foxcitybeard.com and use the promo code DHQ, and you get 20% off and free shipping through November. That's foxcitybeard.com. Use the promo code DHQ. You get 20% off and free shipping, and you get an amazing looking beard. Like I said, I've been stroking my beard all night, and it's feeling pretty good.
Stroking.
Hey, the Fox beards.
I was gonna say that's awesome. Yeah, go check them out. And it is funny, the stroking the beard goes along with all the other innuendos we had tonight. So, hey, listen, we've got more to come that we're gonna do. We're gonna do the Patreon show. This whole episode is all just too many innuendos. So, Patrons, go join our Patreon account. Check out our website.
Patrons are already on it, but if you're not a patron, I'm going to have to pretty much strongly suggest you go become a patron because, like I said, man, patron episodes every week, most of them, like 96% of them are just hot fire. And even the 4% that were complete hot fire, they were like mild fire.
And the episode that you're listening to right now has a lot of mistakes, and the Patreons get to hear all the mistakes.
And then the patrons get the bonus episode. So look, it's well worth it.
And go check out and go to our iTunes account, give us a rate and review. That's something big too.
Look, I don't even care if you review us. Just give us a rating, goddammit. Or excuse me if that offended anyone. Damn it. Just give us a review. Nope, not a review. Just rate us. Literally just go on there, hit the 5-star, go about your day. Hit the 5-star, go about your day. If you listen to the show, and I know you do, I see the download numbers. The ratings, the number of ratings we have is far smaller than the folks that download the show every week. I need you to rectify that, because if you don't, like I said, it's like Tinkerbell. If you don't clap for her, she dies. If you don't rate for us, we die.
Man, if we got as many ratings as we have downloads every week, we'd be like the #1 podcast on iTunes. So also check out our Twitter account at DynastyTradesHQ and check out our website, dynastyfootballfactory.com. Go join DraftKings and get your free year membership over at the website. And we're going to go do the Patreon account. So we'll talk to you guys. Oh, wait. Hey, this is episode 98. We have 2 more episodes to 100. So
one more episode after this and then the big 100. You're right, Mike. And we're excited. So we're not going to tell people what we're doing just yet. Got some surprises in the works, but you need to stick around and wait for that in 2 weeks. We're super excited. Aren't you excited, Shane? We made it, man. 100 episodes.
Yeah.
All right, we'll talk to you guys next week.
See ya.
Say goodbye, Shane.
Goodbye, Shane.